Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Thursday, January 28th, 2021. And we begin with the planet on the president's mind. Saying it's time to act, President Biden signed a slew of executive orders yesterday to tackle climate change. Part of his $2 trillion plan includes eliminating coal, oil, and natural gas as electricity sources by 2035. And having the government buy a vast fleet of zero-emission vehicles to replace gas guzzlers. Critics of the legislation worry that too many jobs will be lost in states that mine natural resources. But supporters believe new, greener jobs will take their place. Also yesterday, John Kerry, the country's new climate czar, announced the U.S. will play host to an international climate change summit this year on Earth Day. It's been a life-changing week for the 22-year-old poet who wowed the world on Inauguration Day. First, Amanda Gorman's books sold out before they even hit the market. Then, Ellen DeGeneres endorsed her plans to run for president, and now she can add another line to her fast-growing resume, fashion model. Amanda is joining the roster at IMG alongside Chrissy Teigen, Gisele Bündchen, and Selena Gomez. Not really a surprise after the headband she wore at the swearing-in sold out, and according to the website list, searches for yellow coat soared 1,300% after her appearance. Amanda's next fashion statement will be made on Super Bowl Sunday. The NFL has tapped her to recite an original poem celebrating the 3 Americans, 1 teacher, 1 nurse, and 1 Marine, chosen to be honorary captains for their work during the pandemic. Are 2 masks really better than 1? According to Dr. Anthony Fauci, yes. The recent spread of more contagious COVID varieties has health experts advising the public to double down by wearing a surgical mask underneath the more common fabric ones. A study last July in the journal Matter showed double masking offered 50 to 75% more protection overall. Not only does a second mask add another layer to filter harmful virus particles, it can provide a better fit. N95s still remain the gold standard for protection, but they're in short supply and, according to NPR, being prioritized for healthcare workers. Seeing cases on the rise, some European countries are tightening their restrictions and instituting new rules requiring that medical-grade masks be worn in crowded settings. It's a story that Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook won't want to hear. New research out of England's Education Policy Institute is reaffirming what many already suspect. There's a link between social media and poor mental health. In a study of over 5,000 teens, those who report heavy social media use reported feelings of depression and hopelessness, generally beginning around age 14. Overall, girls were more impacted than boys, and pandemic-related shutdowns made things worse for everybody. Researchers say lack of exercise is also a contributing factor. The report recommends more resources for wellness education in schools, in addition to increased physical activity. Bernie Sanders' mitten meme is proving to be the gift that keeps on giving. Portland, Oregon artist Mike Bennett has now created a life-size cardboard cutout of the senator and put it up for auction. After multiple bidding and multiple cutouts, he's so far managed to raise over $7,500. Following Mr. Sanders' lead from his own campaign sweatshirt sales, the artist is donating the money to Meals on Wheels. Bennett's self-described creation of a hunk of wood with a little house paint has gone viral on social media, helped no doubt by locals who lined up on his front steps to pose for photos. Mr. Bennett is already known around town for his quirky cartoon creations, calls himself a public joy creator, and is promising his neighbors more fun to come. That's it for KidNuz. Now our KidNuz quiz. President Biden says it's time to tackle what? Climate change. What's the latest thinking around mask protection? Two masks may be better than one to filter out virus particles. According to a new study, around what age does heavy social media use begin to affect teens' mental health? 14. Who will recite a poem during the Super Bowl pregame show? 22-year-old poet laureate Amanda Gorman. In One for the Road. Before crawling into bed tonight, take a peek skyward. Weather permitting, the first full moon of the year will be on display as it reaches its peak. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, January's wolf moon, also known as the cold moon and frost exploding moon, got its name from the number of wolves out howling this time of year. It was originally believed this was due to hunger, but today it's known that wolves howl for many reasons, including marking their territory and communicating with their pack. Before we go, it's time to give some KidNuz shout-outs to our fabulous teachers, Mrs. Ballard, Mrs. McGinnis, and Mrs. Valamon at Myers in Grand Blanc, Michigan, Mrs. Capel at T.S. Cooley Magnet in Lake Charles, Louisiana, Mrs. Stecker at Mitchell and Sulphur Springs in Santa Clarita, California, and to Julie and her blue, green, and yellow pods at the Bush School in Seattle, Washington. Go Blazers! Thanks for listening. It really helps if you rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and we hope you tune in for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.